Peace and blessings, everybody. It's your spiritual plug. And I just came to drop you a little Monday morning madness on today. Before we came into this time-space reality, there are so many different things that we understood that we seem to have forgotten once we got here about how things work. Like how differences and contrast and opposition are here to aid us, right? And so there's this part of our experience where we got to lean into our differences. We got to lean into the discord and the chaos and the shit that ain't going the way that it's supposed to go, because that's the only way that you get order, is to go in there and to organize the chaos. That brings order, And a lot of times we outsource our power because we waiting on somebody else to have developed that for us. However, each and every day in our own lives, we got to figure that thing out. We really do. And majority of the times when we are not seeing what we want to see, getting what we want to get, going where we want to go, is because we are in our own way. And for whatever reason, we have outsourced the power to fix that to somebody else, right? Everything that we need is within us. We ain't got to wait on nobody to do nothing. And majority of the times, in order to be able to achieve a new result, the only thing that we need to do is achieve a new story about whatever it is we're doing. But our views and our beliefs become hindrances to our path to get where we want to go. And a belief is nothing but a thought that you keep on thinking. And you have thoughts and beliefs that are in alignment with what you want. And you have thoughts and beliefs that will defy what you want. They will take you completely away from it. Even if you learned them from well-meaning people, or in the midst of meaningful experiences, or even if you've been told it all your life, and you learn the difference of how to apply these things based on universal law. And if we're not studying spiritually in order to understand how this dimension works, how things come to fruition, and how we can be intentional co-creators in this dimension with the Most High, with the Creator, with the Source, with Big God. I don't know what y'all want to call God these days, but yeah, this universe is so vast, and our entire purpose for being here is to expand. So don't be mad at the things that are going to cause you to expand, like contrast, like chaos, like discord, like dysfunction. All of those things do not feel good to our experience, because we know that we came here with an understanding of what real peace and happiness and freedom felt like, right? So anytime we are not amongst those things that our deepest energy knows, our that soul, that God part of us, right? When we're having an experience that does not mirror what that part of us knows, we will feel some kind of way about things. And that's okay, because that's an indication that we're moving in the wrong direction. That's a vibrational indication that, hey, this is not the frequency that we actually vibe at. We feeling something here, and we need to pay attention to it and listen to it and govern ourselves accordingly. It get to a point where, we run from the feeling so much that we get used to evading what it provides for us. And then we go straight into suppression. I don't want to feel it. It don't feel good. I don't want to. But part of that's right. You shouldn't want to feel it because it don't feel good. That's your indication that you need to go in another direction, though. Don't be mad at that shit. Don't sit in that shit. Don't stay there past the time that you need to process it. But sit there long enough to have the memory that this is not anything that I want in my experience. Because the more you know what you don't want, the more you know what you do. You hold something equally in your vibration that you want to bring to life. And it's up to us to be honest about those things. But we got to practice honesty. And when we've been taught to posture, to play in position for other people, we taught to please other people before we please ourselves. That can't be good for nobody. We taught to perform from a young age. Don't behave like that. I don't like the way that looks. That doesn't make me feel good. And we talking to somebody else about how what they doing make us feel. But if that makes them feel good, why are we infringing upon that? And why do it bother us to the point that we can't go somewhere and gather our own emotions and not affect the person who is enjoying whatever they doing? We got to to get beyond that. You know what I'm saying? If we really practice freedom in the truest forms, as long as it wasn't hurting or harming anybody else, I can only imagine how we would be looking at people out here. Oh my gosh, bitch, are you rolling down that hill? You frolicking? What are you doing? Did you just go stick your hand in that? Whatever it is that people's proclivities are that would lead them to do what they really, really want to do, we would get to see it. But because we've been taught to perform, we've been taught to put on, we've been taught to not come to the table as our fullest selves, right? Because there's a time and a place for everything. No, the time for everything, you know, is discernible. That's real. However, the time to always be authentic, to be genuine, to be yourself is all the time. We are not here to live even further into a false reality than we've already been introduced. You know, we're here to learn some things, and that means engagement got to come, you know, in some specific ways, and we got to be okay with that. We got to be okay with that. We got to be okay with the process of growth and development. We got to be okay with what it takes to be able to tap into ourselves. We got to be okay with the full essence of what is, what we are. We scared of ourselves, some of us. We don't even want to go there. We don't want to spend no time with ourselves. We don't want to be one-on-one. We don't even want to know what's in here with us. And if you don't want to spend no time with you, baby, I don't know who else gonna want to. I don't know. If you ain't got time to figure out what you like about you, it's gonna be hard for you to believe when somebody else tell you that they like you. Because you ain't found that value in you. These are things that we have to take the time to do because our growth and development depends on it. From a spiritual aspect, we need to be able to lay ourselves naked and prostrate somewhere and see ourselves in that way and still say it's all good. I know I got a little roll over there. I know my little, you know what I'm saying? I know I got a little second chin I need to get together. I know I can afford to have some new teeth to get some. I know, naked and unashamed and still say it's all good. I'm fine with it. It's mine. It's all I got. I love it. I love it for this life and the next. It's all I got. We got to start valuing what we got. Finding a reason to say, I love it. It's good. Thank you. But we be walking around and we can't even be appreciative half the time. We ain't even thankful for the things that we didn't need that help get us to the things that we did need. That's what I said. All the things be working together for our own growth and development for us to be able to expand in our consciousness. But if we can't see it for what it is and we telling ourselves other stories, that ain't good for nobody. Right? The principal story that we need to be latching on to in this lifetime is that we came here to co-create and to expand in our mind's eye, in our soul's purpose and development, in our consciousness, personally and collectively. That's what we're here for. And y'all, if we got so much else to do here that those things don't matter, I don't know what we're living for. I don't, and it's okay because I have resolved that it is a lot of things that I don't understand anymore. It is a lot of people out here who can't identify what they're living for, right? And that's okay because I'm at a place where I can see it. I can discern it. I can recognize it. Oh, that is a non-believer. They don't believe in shit out here in the world based on how they moving. You know what I'm saying? I try to do good by some people out here who can't even receive the good because they don't have no codes of life around how they out here living. They don't believe in nothing. They will cross you. They will cross their own mama. They don't care. They don't have nothing they living by. Then you got these people out here who are make-believers. These are your performers. These are your people who will song and dance and tell you one thing. But then when you sit and you pay attention to the energy and you actually feel out what's happening around you and you watch and you observe long enough, you can see that their words and their actions is not in alignment with each other. But you can't tell them shit because they actually believe in their mind that they something that they're not. And that belief absolves them from the practice of actually becoming. Ooh. Make believers. It's a lot of them out here. And then you got the real ones, right? And I'm going to tell you, we real, because we don't play. Ain't no half-ass nothing. You going to feel it all the way. We coming. We giving our all. We loyal 10 toes down. We going to give it how it's been got. We going to do what's got to be done. We going to give from a pure heart. That's a real believer. Somebody who got the fear of God in them. Who understand there's something here that's bigger than me. That's bigger than you. That we got a purpose here. We got shit to do. And I'm here to do my part. Hope you're here to do yours. But you know what? If you're not, that don't got nothing to do with me. I'm not going to waste my energy on it, right? Because for so long, we wasted energy on what's not, that we ain't got to what is. What are we creating? And if we're not putting ourselves to cultivate that and to bring that to life, what are we doing? Right? This Monday Morning Madness, I just want to give it to you because, hey, these are real thoughts. And it's the top of the week. So what my hope is that you go into this week knowing I got shit to do. I got somewhere to be. I'm motivated and on fire for myself and my future and what I am creating. I am showing up for me in ways that I've never shown up for me before. I'm loving on me in ways that are radically transformative to my life. Write these affirmations down if you ain't had none for yourself this week. I'm telling you. Being able to look yourself in the eyes and speak firmly and mean what you say will help you hack a new level, right? At any point in time, we only one vibration away from going up or going down. It's a matter of how we going to direct our energy. How we going to direct our energy. We get to choose every day. Who we finna be today? What we finna do? It's your choice. And if you give that power away to the point that you can't recalibrate, right? Because sometimes we get ourselves in situations and we just get to going and going and going and going and going and going and going, and we don't even think about where we're going and what we're doing no more. We just be doing it. We be on autopilot, be mindless, just moving, and that's okay. It's okay, but what I'm telling you is that it gets to a point where you got to be conscientious about everything. And that's just being thoughtful, being mindful, observing your thoughts, affirming yourself and your being, knowing what your desires are, following the path of least resistance, not resisting nothing, okay? We resist a lot of things out here in the name of what should be or what's supposed to be or what's ideal. And all of that's fine, right? To name a thing, to call it out. But to focus our attention on something that's not what we want to produce is never a good thing. It causes us to work against ourselves. And it takes energy to resist something, which is why resistance is persistence. Because the more energy you focus on not accepting that thing or saying, I want this over here that's different, but I'm going to talk more about this thing over here, the further and further, you're going to keep creating that same thing. You're not going to get away from it because you have put your attention on it. That's the law. You're going to and that's why we got to learn, because so many of our movements, so many of our efforts, so many of our steps towards collectivity can be empowered by us understanding this. Historically, I wish we would have learned different earlier. So somebody could have taught us, but this our job. All our job is to be able to learn what we need to in this life and be able to share and pass it on, to reproduce it, to expand it. Because like I said, expansion of consciousness is why we're here. But acknowledging this, we got to be okay. There's some things were for us to uncover so that we could lay them bare for somebody else, right? Because if somebody else would have found it, they wouldn't have done it the same way. So all I'm saying is, we got work to do, y'all. And it's my hope that you rise in confidence, you rise in power, you rise in personal development, you rise in community, you rise in people who know you and who love you and who show up for you and who hear you and listen and who honor you and who can be a part of your life in a way that you can appreciate. I affirm all of these things, and I give thanks that you already got them, whether you didn't see them or not. Claim that they are yours, and they are making their way to you into your physical experience. Everything that we desire is desiring us. All we got to do is affirm that those things are making their way to us. And I promise you, the universe will start moving things around so that they actually start lining themselves up to you. Alignment is key in this season. But you can't align with nothing else outside yourself if you ain't aligned with yourself inside yourself. You feel me? Align with you first. Align with where you are, what your goals, gifts, values, desires, everything you want to create in this season. Be so clear about that anything else that's not a part of that brings itself into your experience, you can put a boundary up and be like, slide to the side on you. That's not for me right now. I can tell you what I can and I can't do. I can tell you what I do and don't want to be involved in. I can feel a thing and know whether or not it's in alignment with what I've been feeling and where the fuck I'm trying to go. Right? Because I done sat with myself so long that I know how good I feel by myself. And if you don't make me feel as good as I feel by myself, then no, baby. No. It ain't gonna work. I'm so sorry. I love you, but bye-bye. Because you can't bring me down. I'm always one vibration away from going up or going down. And if we ain't going up together, baby, we ain't going nowhere. We got to be able to say that. But until we get to a place within ourselves where we so aligned within ourselves that we know what that feels like, we're not going to exercise that level of boundaries when other people come disrupting. Right? So it's important for us to get on one accord with ourselves. And once we are in alignment with us, we can align with anything else. Align with you and then talk to folk. Align with you first and then act. Align with you first and then interact. Right? Like, align with you first though. Because if not, it's a lesson there you're going to learn something else about. Being out of alignment. Being out of alignment. And we all know what that feels like, you know? And so I just came to encourage us today. For this week, that's how I work. Cultivate our energy. Cultivate our relationship with our God power. Cultivate our alignment with ourselves, our inner knowing. And the way we stand and we walk in that power, because this is not a season where we are able to give our power away. It's not a season where we're able to be make-believers. It's not a season where we're able to pretend and placate like things are something else other than what they really are, because there is power in naming a thing. Right? So if we can't start doing that for ourselves, where it counts, right? And what we're creating in our lives, and how that is going to be a contributor to the collective or not. Because some of us really don't care about nobody but ourselves, and that's okay. That's a whole nother video and conversation. The better we are for ourselves, the better we are for other people. The more productive we are for ourselves, the more productive we are for our collective community and society. But we can't give nothing to nobody else that we ain't gave to ourselves. We don't have no cup to pour from when it's empty. So, align with you. And after you have aligned with yourself, let all other things flow from that place of alignment. And continue to build and create in it. Because there is power there. Give your energy room to flow. Room to speak, room to share, room to learn, to listen, to be in communion with all that is around. Be okay being an observer of your reality and not always being an active participant in it. Make a decision on whether you want to participate. That's a jewel right there. You got to be able to sit back and pay attention, though, in order to be able to practice that. You can't be so quick to move, to do, that you miss what you're seeing. That you can't discern what's happening in your reality or in what is perceived as a reality, because all of this really is an illusion. But yo, Monday Morning Madness, y'all. Go out and make it a great week. I love y'all.